YouTube, what is going on? My name is Argon. Welcome back to some Fortnite informational, instructional, conversational type of content. Today there was an update and they made a big change to the audio in Fortnite Battle Royale. We're going to go over that into some serious amounts of detail, guys. This is going to be one of the technical videos. We're not just going to be providing information for you. We're going to dissect what exactly was discussed, and it might get a little bit tricky. I'm trying to do my best with the visuals, make it a little bit easy for you guys to understand and put a decent amount of work into this, guys. Let's go ahead and start off the video by hitting that like button. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't yet. We're going to jump right into this, guys. There was 3 changes made to the audio volumes in general in this last update 4.4. Starting with the very first one, guys, they increased enemy footsteps volume by 25%. In general, I don't have a before and after comparison. It's one thing I wish they would do is let us know ahead of time what they were actually changing, release the patch notes early so I could go in and get some before and after footage, whatever. Either way, enemy footstep volume increased by 25%. That's quite a bit. In addition to that, they've increased the range of footsteps by 1 building tile. I'm going to show you guys 2 clips here. Both are with native plays. One is we were in a duos match, right, and we went into some area, built a platform, and I had him run away from me. There is a difference between enemy footsteps and friendly footsteps. Enemy footsteps are louder than friendly footsteps, so you can differentiate them a little bit. The first clip is going to be him running away from me. You'll see his name in the upper left corner. That's when he's a friendly. You can hear how quickly his footsteps fall off and then how much more quieter they are. In the second one, yes, we did join a solos match. I'll let the whole clip play out because we did queue up in the same lobby. We went to Moisty Meyer away from everybody. I ended up letting him kill. I killed him and then I killed myself. So we didn't team or none of that. So I don't want to hear it. But in the second clip, you'll hear how far away he runs, and you'll go ahead and actually see the difference between running 1 full tile and 1 extra tile. So there's the first time he runs away from me. He runs, I think, 5 or 6 tiles, and then he has to place 1 more tile, and he does it again. So you can actually hear the difference between, where it was before and then where it is now. In general, also you can hear the difference in volume between an enemy and a friendly. So again, guys, here you can see the full range of how far you can actually hear both enemies and friendlies. So take a look. Now the last bit is probably the most confusing part. So there was 3 updates again. First one being they increased the volume of enemy footsteps by 25%. Second one being they increased the range of footsteps by 1 building tile. The last one is they changed the volume fall off of footsteps from a logarithmic to a linear profile. Now what that means is, if you don't know much about math, a linear is a line. So basically you start from a high end and go to a low end, and it's a straight line. So if you have a volume of 100 and then you have a volume of 0, it literally just drops straight. So if it takes 10 seconds, at 5 seconds in, the volume's at 50. That's exactly how it is. It's a straight line down. A logarithmic, however, is it's called an exponential decay. So basically it drops off really quickly early on and then kind of flattens out. I'm going to show you guys this in a good visual format, guys. I took the same clip from before where Native was against me in a solos match by Moisty Meyer. I went into the theater mode and I went to a side view. I'm going to go with the old method, which was the logarithmic method, guys. Basically, if you could see, he starts off next to me and starts running, and as you can see, the red line starts scaling down. That's basically the profile of the volume. So the very top is the peak volume when he's right next to me running away. You can see how quickly it drops off as he's running away from me to the point where I can no longer hear him. Now let's go ahead and compare that to a linear, basically a straight line. Again, he starts at the beginning by me and goes straight down into a straight line all the way down to 0. So the effect this has is when he's halfway away from his maximum distance from me where I can hear him, that's the easiest way to figure it out. If I hear him half volume, I know he's half the distance away. Now I want to talk about what this means exactly. Logarithmic volume scaling like this would actually be more natural for sound than linear, because if you're in a building, walls are going to start kind of deafening the sound around you. So those materials are going to start deadening and quieting the sound. So if somebody's in a room next to you and they're running around, you're going to hear them real well. But if you're a room 2 rooms over, you're not going to hear them as well, right? But under a linear scale, you would hear them almost as well as you did in the room next to him. Linear would be more accurate in an open environment though, for example, a field or an empty room, something that doesn't have anything blocking sound. However, even still, you still wouldn't get a truly linear, volume decay. It just doesn't work that way. But either way, logarithmic is more natural. However, for gaming, linear does make sense because it helps you easier identify where the opponent is. You don't have to think like, oh, how loud is he? Is that really close, or it's really, really close, or far? You just hear like as he's approaching, he's running right at you, and it's the same. So he's not going to just just jump up on you out of nowhere. It's good for gaming, helps give your game awareness a little bit better. The one downfall of linear though that I see so far is the event where someone's not running at you radially. Now radially means basically directly at you or directly away from you. In that case, they're essentially running in a straight line in your direction or away from you. Then it would make sense. It would look just like the examples I've shown you already. However, if they're running in a tangent, meaning like they're in front of you and they're running to the left, from right to left, now you've got a component of them getting further away in 2 dimensions. This is similar to what recently happened with the aiming thing that they just updated. They had to update the diagonal aiming on console, I think specifically console, because the sensitivities on X and Y were not working together when they were going in diagonal directions. I don't have evidence of this actually being a real thing in this game, because it does kind of make sense that it would be. If aiming sensitivities were like that for controller in the diagonal, then I would expect volume to work the same way. So in that case, logarithmic would have been a little bit better, because it is so sensitive to the closer it is to you that in general, when someone's really close to you, you're not going to really be able to tell a difference how close or which direction they are, because it's all loud, right? Which may also be part of the reason why it was really hard to tell where people were when they were close to you and it sounded like they were all over you. It could have been for this reason. So either way, like I said, I don't have proof that this is really an issue. It could be. If it is, I'm sure they'll patch it, but that's the only downfall I see, guys. In general, it's a good thing because it's going to help you place opponents a little bit easier when you're playing against them. And again, this works in 3 dimensions. It's not just 1 dimension, so remember that. Hopefully these visuals were helpful for you guys. Hopefully you did learn something. If you did, please hit that like button again. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're not following me on social media, those links are down in the description below. And as always, guys, my name is Argon, and may you never die to a bush. Peace.